Maya didn't think she had a spending problem. She had a seeing problem. Every swipe of her debit card felt small. $6 here, $12 there. None of it looked like real money. It looked like numbers on a screen that barely changed. Then she found a method that's taken over social media: cash stuffing. Pull out your paycheck, divide it into envelopes, and suddenly spending has a face. For Maya, it worked. Almost too well. But there's a cost to cash stuffing that most videos never mention, and it's not really about the money sitting in the envelopes. It's about the money that never gets there at all. Quick note before we go further. This video is for educational purposes only. It's not personalized financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. Your situation is your own, so treat this as a way to think, not a set of instructions. Let's back up. Imagine someone earning around $52,000 a year, a normal, livable income in most parts of the country. That's Maya. On paper, she was fine. Rent paid, bills paid, no overdue notices. But at the end of every month, her savings account looked the same as it did 30 days earlier. Not because she was reckless, because she genuinely couldn't tell you where $200 or $300 a month had gone. Digital money has a strange property. It's abstract. A coffee doesn't feel like it costs anything when your balance just quietly ticks down by $5. There's no moment where you physically hand something over and feel the loss. So Maya tried something almost old-fashioned. She withdrew her paycheck in cash and divided it into envelopes. One for groceries, one for gas, one for going out, one for personal spending. The rule was simple. When an envelope is empty, that category is closed for the month. No exceptions, no digital top-up. It's called cash stuffing, and it's built on a well-documented idea in behavioral economics. Physical cash creates more psychological friction than a card. Handing over a bill, you can see disappear registers differently in your brain than a number decreasing on a screen. And for Maya, it worked immediately. Her going-out envelope ran dry by the third week of the month for the first time, and instead of just tapping her card anyway, she actually stopped. She cooked at home for 11 days straight. By the end of month 1, she had more left over than she'd seen in a year. This is where most cash stuffing videos end the story. Envelope empty, lesson learned, roll credits. But Maya kept going, and 6 months in, something else started happening. Something the envelopes couldn't show her. She had nearly $1,800 sitting in a shoebox in her closet. $1,800 doing absolutely nothing, not earning interest, not building credit, not protected if her apartment ever got broken into, or if the shoebox got misplaced during a move. Just sitting there, physically identical to the day she withdrew it. That $1,800 sitting in a basic savings account instead could have quietly earned real interest over that same 6 months, money that a shoebox will never, ever produce. This is the part that rarely gets explained. Cash stuffing solves a spending problem, but it can quietly create a growth problem. Every dollar you hold as physical cash is a dollar that isn't compounding anywhere. It's not sitting in a high-yield savings account earning interest. It's not paying down high-interest debt. It's not doing anything except waiting. Money, by nature, is supposed to move. When you take it out of the financial system entirely, you gain control. But you give up the one thing money can do without you doing anything at all: grow, just by sitting in the right place. There's a second, quieter cost. Cash builds nothing. No credit history. No credit score improvement. If Maya ever wants to buy a car or qualify for a mortgage, a shoebox full of 20s won't help her get a better interest rate. Lenders don't see cash. They see a track record of borrowing and repaying responsibly, and envelopes don't create that track record. To be fair to the method, cash stuffing has real limits, and it was never designed to replace a full financial system. It doesn't build credit. It doesn't fit fixed bills like rent or a mortgage. Those still work better on auto pay than in an envelope. And it carries real physical risk. Cash can be lost or stolen, and unlike a credit card purchase, it earns you nothing back. It works best on a few flexible spending categories, not your entire budget. So does that mean cash stuffing is a bad idea? Not exactly. The problem was never the method. It was Maya treating one budgeting tool like it was her entire financial system. Cash stuffing is extremely good at one specific job, making flexible, everyday spending feel real. Groceries, takeout, personal spending money, categories where the temptation to overspend is high and the dollar amounts are small. It is a poor tool for everything else. Savings you don't plan to touch, bills that repeat every month, and money you actually want to grow. Here's what a more complete version can look like. Maya still uses envelopes, but only for the categories where she was actually losing control: eating out and personal spending. Everything else moved back into the financial system: rent and bills on auto pay from her checking account. Emergency savings, sitting in a high-yield savings account where it can quietly earn interest. Anything meant for the future, going toward a retirement account instead of a shoebox. The envelopes didn't disappear. They just stopped trying to do a job they were never built for. Here's the actual insight, and it goes beyond cash stuffing. Almost every viral money method works by solving exactly one problem really well, and it's easy to mistake that one win for a complete system. Cash stuffing fixes visibility. It doesn't fix growth, credit, or long-term planning. No single method does all of that at once. The people who build real financial stability aren't the ones who find the one perfect trick. They're the ones who understand what each tool is actually good at and use several of them together. Maya's real problem was never that she spent too much. It was that money without friction is invisible, and money that's completely invisible is money you can't manage. Cash stuffing gave that money a face again. It just couldn't give it a future. That part still had to come from somewhere else. If you want more breakdowns of the money habits that look smart until you actually run the math, subscribe to Finvero TV Media. We break down exactly how these systems work, one decision at a time.